My least zodiac signs, and they are very bad traits. Coming at number 3 is Capricorn. A Capricorn man can make you feel like his world revolves around you. He would call you beautiful, send you text messages, send you pictures, all those daily selfies that you like. He will literally play along with you at any given time. He's the kind of man that will send you 10 hours voice notes telling you how beautiful.
Different zodiac signs when you tell them a secret.
Oh no, you gotta worry, your secret's safe with me. I ain't gonna tell nobody. Except for my best friend, my mama, and my boo. But besides that, I ain't gonna tell nobody. Why would I tell somebody a secret? Girl, I don't care. And on top of that, I already forgot.
Ranking the top 3 zodiac signs of women with the most addictive personalities. At number 3, we got Aries woman. Now, Aries woman always gonna have an ex stuck on stupid.
There's a reason why you just meet this person, you're like, I click with you, like you're my person. Most of the time you go and check and you people are actually compatible on the zodiac wheel. If you're going to be honest to yourself, somebody that deep down in your heart you're like, I'm not that, like this person hasn't done anything to me, but I'm okay with her, but I just don't like her as my person. It could be because people are just not compatible, and that's fine. 4,000 years ago in ancient Mesopotamia. Now let me show you how far 4,000 years ago was. Jesus Christ, as we know him today, came 2,000 years ago, and that feels so far away. Now double that. So way back 4,000 years ago, there was an ancient civilization called Mesopotamia. They are commonly known as the Babylonians in the Bible. Now this was a country or a nation which was very rich in astrological wisdom. They were very rich in physical wealth. Like they were just a very sophisticated nation. They will be what maybe present day I don't think United States, China. You see how China is in the world today? That was them back then. And they had some special people called the sky watchers. So these were people who used to observe the stars and observe patterns. And that's one thing they noticed. They noticed that the sun didn't really stay in the same part of the sky throughout the year. They realized that there was some weird stuff that used to happen at different times during the year. It's kind of like how when it's going to rain, it's going to rain because you saw the clouds and you were able to deduce that from the weight of the clouds and the color of the clouds, it's definitely going to rain. That's exactly what they also did. But they did it with the stars, the moon, and I don't know how, but they did it. They were able to deduce that throughout a year there were 12 different constellation bands that used to happen in the sky. I don't know the details, I don't know the details, but 12, the sky appeared to be different in 12 different ways. So there were 12 different constellations for the sky, and they were able to use these differences that they noticed to predict events. They were able to predict rainfall. They were able to predict like the tides of the sea. They were able to even advise their kings because they were deducing like some extra knowledge from what they were seeing up there. And these are what we call the diviners, right? These are people that can look at something and then make a deduction from it. They're like, this is going to happen because this is here and this is here. It reminds me of those who throw calories, right? Now, about 1,600 years later, in 400 BC, this is still before Christ, 400 years before the birth of Jesus Christ, or at least the recorded birth of Jesus Christ. Now, the Greeks are the people who do those mythology like Zeus, Hades, Athena, Aphrodite, that squad, they found how they were able to tell that this kind of mathematics, sky mathematics, was very valuable. So what did they do? They added to it. They added a philosophical layer because at that time Greece was known so much for philosophy and their ideologies and then their wisdom and all that. So they added to it and they named this cycle the Zodiac. Now the word Zodiac comes from the Greek word Zodiakos Kylos, which means a circle of animals. Since the earth goes around the sun in a circular form, that forms what? 360 degrees, so hence circle. Now each Zodiac band was named after an animal. That's why we have circle of animals. So it means that when you divide the 12 bands among one circle, you get 30 degrees for each. I'm a Leo, 23rd July to 22nd of August. That's the time frame for Leo, and I fall on the 19th, so I'm like towards the end, but I'm still a Leo. Now this whole thing, it's up to you whether you believe it or not, but personally I feel like this is something that is stapled into the universe. It doesn't matter whether you believe it or not, it has some level of effect. What I think would vary is your interpretation of it. These zodiacs are divided into 4 elements because they believe that the earth was made up of 4 elements, which are water, fire, earth, and air, like Avatar. You hear me? Here are the 4 elements and the signs that fall under them. So for the fire sign, we have Leo, Aries, and Sagittarius. The element that you fall under describes your core nature, like how you truly are within, irrespective of where you come from, who raised you, external factors, what is really inside you. And for the fire signs, they said they are bold, passionate, and very action driven. The earth sign, and the earth sign consists of Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. Earth sign is characterized by people who are very grounded, practical, and reliable. So they are like the logical, calm kind of squad, you know. The air elements, these are Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. These are people who are intellectual, communicative, and very social. So like they're the people who can do well with people, they do well with public speaking and stuff like that. And then we have the water elements. The water element is made up of Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. And these people are very emotional, very intuitive, very deep. I feel like, you know, water has that to it. And yeah, that's it. The next thing I want to talk about is compatibility. Well, I feel like as humans we are very versatile, and in as much as this is something that people have derived from years and years of learning and have come up with these deductions, it doesn't mean that we are confined to this, right? So for compatibility, I feel like there are some signs that they claim are not compatible, but you go and check, some people have been married for like 20-30 years and they are incompatible signs. They find a way to work it out, you know. You want to look out for people who have the same signs as you, because like, I mean, when you are similar, you have more in common, you understand each other better, you communicate better. So that's one thing you can do. So like if you are an Aries, you are most likely to do well with a Leo or a Sagittarius. If you are a Cancer, you're going to do very well with an Aquarius or a Scorpio, because like both of you are water, you get me. The other thing too is high contrast. So if you pair with the opposite sign, they say that one is more passionate. It's like people are attacking each other. Sometimes you clash, sometimes you blend. The complementary signs, so these are elements that help each other out. That's like fire and air. Air will always fuel fire. If you have a Libra and then a Sagittarius, the air is going to, you know, so it can be a very good dynamic. The worst matches, according to Claude AI, I'm not the one who said it, it's them, fixed signs. So signs that Obia feel say oye boss. So a Taurus, a Leo, a Scorpio, and Aquarius, everybody is like high in their own element, so nobody wants to budge. It's going to be a very difficult dynamic for the people. Maybe it will work, I don't know. The cardinal signs. So you see, because it's a circle, right, and they are all moving 30 degrees at some point, definitely we are going to have 0 degrees. Yes, we are going to have 90, we're going to have 180, we're going to have 270, right? And these 4 points, these are the cardinal points, and everybody is sort of like a leader in their own section. So if you have them coming together, everyone wants to lead, so who's gonna submit, who's gonna follow? It's not gonna work. If it works, fine. Yeah, that's it. I feel like these don't just affect romantic relationships. It has a lot to also do with like boss worker relationship, friendships, parent child relationship, like how you associate with people. I'm not saying go and worship the zodiac, I'm not saying go believe in it with all your heart, but I feel like it's something nice to know, because it's not just some woo-woo stuff. It's something that has been studied for thousands and thousands and thousands of years. So if there has been some study, surely not everyone is crazy, right? There has to be some level of truth to it, or take what you can out of it and leave the rest. Like, that's me. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Zen, and I'll catch you in the next video with more interesting tales. Bye.